This is a device I've invented for practicing cello arpeggios. I nicknamed it the ArpMatic. It's powered internally by a little tiny computer, one of these Arduinos, and the whole purpose of it is that it gives you a simple way to just repeat arpeggios that you can listen to. I use it with an electric cello, so I can hear this and my cello at the same time on headphones and practice arpeggios in various keys and octaves and so on. So the main controls on it are this one, which is speed. And this one up here is legato and staccato. So this gives you nice long notes. The notes blend in together, and then as you turn it up, they get more staccato. So depending on what you want, kind of style you want to play. And then this middle control adjusts how much accent is put on the root note. You'll hear there it's emphasizing the C, whereas just now they're all even. So that can help you kind of navigate sometimes. And then the rest of the buttons, this one here changes between major, minor, and diminished. And you'll see it shows you the names of the notes in the chord as you go up, and then diminished. And this button here switches between 1 and 2 octave arpeggios. So this will go to a double arpeggio. And again, that'll work for the minors. And diminished. And then these 6 buttons here are basically for offsetting the root. So I can go up a half step, go back to major. I can go up another half step, or I can go down a half step. I can also go up and down in fifths. Or down in fifths. I can also switch the octave. If I go back to a single one, I can go up an octave. Up 2 octaves. I'll be going outside the range of what's useful, but the option's there. I can go down an octave. I've also added a random mode here, which makes up an arpeggio. So it's not necessarily a major or minor one, it just makes up the root and the fifth. Sometimes that can be interesting, you can generate some interesting musical ideas, but that's more of an ideas tool rather than a practice tool maybe. And I've also over here, I've got a drone mode. Where I switch that, it'll just stay on one note. And again, I can change how staccato that is. So it'll create like a little rhythm, or I can have it like a 3 beat, where it's emphasizing the first of 3 beats, or 4. Or if I turn the speed right down, it'll just hold a note, and I can change that. So I can use that for practicing scales and other chords when it's nice to have a drone running. It's not very easy to manipulate buttons and things like that when you're playing a cello, because it's physically a big instrument and you're holding onto it and you're holding onto a bow. So to get around that, I've added a tiny little gesture sensor to my music stand that's connected to the ArpMatic, and that can actually detect gestures I make with my hand or even with my bow. So I can go up an octave, down an octave, down an octave again. So up is up an octave, down is an octave. And if I go left, I'll go up in fifths. And if I go right, I'll get a random arpeggio. It's a little bit different to the one on the unit itself. This one will just pick a key and pick a type, a major or minor. So now I've got a D sharp major. Now I've got a G sharp minor. And so on, C sharp major. It's just randomly picking one. It's kind of fun when you're playing, when you want to just challenge yourself. What arpeggios do I know? What can I play? And so on. And always I can hit this button then to reset it back to the default C major.